Morning. Week 8 of our update for 2020. Going to talk about some ugly stuff this morning. All right. What's the ugly I want to talk about? It is this horrible thing called early blight. And it will kill your tomato. Well, potentially kill them. It's going to very much stunt their growth. Cause your tomatoes to not do as well as they should have. As you can see, I've been dealing with a lot of it. I've got to clean that up, but yeah, it's been pretty bad this week. We've had some rainfall along with some cold nights. That, coupled with my neighbor over there who continues to water every single night, we've had to deal with quite a bit of the early blight on some of these plants that were doing just so excellent, and it's just such a bummer. Some of the things I'm doing, obviously you can see on the ground, there are a lot of clippings that need to be picked up because they can't be left here. This is really hard to tackle and deal with because you're never going to get it all, right? And if you do get it all, you've pretty much just destroyed your plant. These plants, I gotta do a little bit more work here, but some of these plants will not recover from this. It'll stunt their growth, like I mentioned. It will cause them to not fruit anymore. Yeah, I've got a lot of work here. So if it doesn't rain in the next day or two, should be okay to get the rest of this cleaned up, but I don't want to do too much at once. Like, look at this poor guy. He was amazing. And it's done this. You get the blight on there, and the fruit just falls off. And that's just like within days if you don't stay on top of this stuff. Yeah, it's a huge pain, and it's a big bummer. But we continue to do what we can. I'm fortunate that we have a lot of tomato plants here. So 84, I think it is to be exact, which is just ridiculous for this amount of space. If you even look, you would never imagine 84 tomato plants. The majority are doing really well. The ones that are caged up over here, they're doing okay. They were doing great, like I mentioned. The ones over here that I don't really mess with, they're doing really good. A lot of fruit, not a lot of blight, but it comes, man. You can't stop it. It's really bad. Peppers, I had to, so I repurposed. Some guy was throwing out, he was redoing his banister, and he's throwing out the rods from there. And it's like, oh, that would be perfect to pound in the ground, straighten up my peppers. One thing about peppers is when they get a lot on them like this, like, you need to pin them up because they just fall right over. That stem is just, itty bitty around, and just all that fruit on there and vegetables on there just kind of just make it lean right over. There's nothing I don't know, it's so weird, like how it can't support its own weight, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Zucchini. So zucchini, fabulous. This last week, I think, alone, we pulled out upwards around 40 plus zucchini, gave them to a bunch of friends and family. I think we'll be donating some of them to Active Faith here locally in town. They're a food bank that takes food. I think Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays they take it from like 8 to 4. We'll be dropping some stuff off. But this week, I'm going to see that we're going to slow down on the zucchini production. Like, it is not going to be booming like it was the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to start to see this wind down, and also what's winding down. I still got some cucumber beetle eggs there. What's going to also wind down is the cucumber beetle. Not going to see as much of it. Maybe that's because we've been so diligent about taking care of it, even though they have won the battle like they do every year, just in sheer numbers, because we're not using any pesticides. we're doing everything as organic and as by nature as we possibly can. But yeah, the zucchini slowed way down. But what's going to pick up this week in huge numbers is going to be our pickling cucumbers and our other cucumbers. Like, they are nuts. We probably picked about a dozen off of this area so far. There's one down there. These guys are just kicking butt, man. Another one in there. Yeah, there's a lot in here. They're gonna have to come off, and they're doing really fairly well up the trellis. I would have liked to have seen better, but next year, always improving. Iterative process as to improving our garden. Do a lot of things different, and it'll help the chances of those cucumbers growing a little bit better. Green beans doing great. Had some last night. Maybe I'll post a picture on our Instagram. Jennifer cooked them up. They were just spectacular. Tasted so good. So green bean production probably going to slow down a little bit too as well. Let it replenish a little bit. And yeah, this week, oh, look at that. Look at that boy right there. Like I mentioned, this week we're really focused on getting these cucumbers off of here. There's a lot of English cucumbers over here that are pretty active right now. Here we go. Look at those. I know I'm going to lift this up. There's going to be like 5 of them. 4, 3. Yeah, there's a bunch. Look at that. Wow. Wait. Look at that big one. That's a good one right there. Yeah, they're growing. Going to pull a bunch of these off tomorrow. Pumpkins. I have no clue what's going on. This one vine, I thought it had bacterial wilt. It may still have bacterial wilt, but these leaves are still, they're just turning, like it's dying, but it's a different kind of dying, and it's the actual pumpkin's actually turning because of it, if I'm not mistaken. The rest of it's doing okay, but I mean, the amount of cucumber beetles that have been on these that I've been fighting the past 2 weeks is just like unbelievable. That one big boy over there, he's going to do great. John's going to take him, so I'll let him have them for Charlie. But yeah, I'm really happy about the pumpkins that we had. Yes, we started them way early, but I think they'll still do okay. And our cantaloupe that we died of bacterial wilt, this one actually looks like it, I don't know, we'll see. I'm worried about it, but we'll keep an eye on it. Might have just been water, who knows. If it comes back this week, then I'll be super happy. But it has a spectacular fruit down here at the bottom. Look at that. That has a nice cantaloupe right there. And then this one, which is done beautifully too, has several fruit on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, look at the size of that guy. He's gonna be a pretty guy. All right, doing awesome. So really happy about that. What else we got going on today? Talked about the tomatoes, talked about the cucumber. Our cantaloupe over here on the ground, we have 4 plants, one there, one there, one there, one there. I don't see any fruit on these yet. Oh wait, look at that. I am absolutely surprised. Look at that. I have not seen this yet. Oh man, that's so cool. Look at them. And if there's one there at that size, there's got to be more. I'll have to go hunting for them. Oh, look, whoa, shit. Oops, excuse me. But look at the size of that cucumber down there. I gotta pull that boy off. There's a bunch back there too. Yeah, this is gonna be the chore this week, getting all these cucumbers off here. We're gonna do some pickling. I like bread and butter, so we'll do those. Do some dill too as well. Tomorrow morning when I get in here, I'll clean up these tomato plants a little bit more, pin them up a little bit. It's pretty much a weekly thing. Yeah, that's about it today. Just again, like I said, last couple of videos, maintenance mode, trying to stay on top of all of the bad things that are trying to happen in the garden. That's the fun part of it this year. I really hope that these tomatoes, really hope these tomatoes pull through, and I hope they beat the blight here, because I've got a ton on the vine. They're going to be ready here in the next month. Our pear tomatoes, can't wait to see some of those. I'm surprised by the lack of fruit on them right now, which is really worrying me. But you know, we can only do what we can, so hope for the best. All right, guys, this is gonna be week 8, week 7. I don't know, update whatever I said at the beginning. I could be wrong then too, but anyway. All right, have a good day, guys. We'll catch you later.